accounting company in Copenhagen, and he's long gone to Italy on a sales trip. So before they even figure out there's some issues, there's a long time gap. So it's so dangerous, and many people, they don't know anything about this. And when you make this access point, you can even, as he says, make it with the same design, make it a credit card, and maybe if the hotel is...
well, you have to use a credit card to get it going.
What?
You have to use the credit card.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's a few euros, and then you have the data.
I was at a survey conference, they showed us that, and the guy, while everybody was logging into it, he actually took everybody did that, took all the credit cards and put a $1 charge on the credit card to show you how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had all these directors of security in there and everything, they were like, ah!
Exactly. I also heard of a story where they were doing a penetration test, and then flying in the same airport or airplane to the city with the executives of the company, and they were in first class, and the other guys were in second class, and then they actually managed to hack them in the airplane. So before even getting there and doing the penetration testing. So it's a very interesting area, and we add more and more of those techniques into the penetrator, and basically the whole goal of the penetrator, is we want to give the whole penetration testing suite, the whole areas, and we want to make it very user-friendly. I was just at a conference in Belgium, and they also say that there are many very strong security products, but nobody can figure out how to use them. It's too complicated. So I think we spend a lot of efforts on it. We do even more when we do the feedback test to the users. Then it gets even more user-friendly. We want to make it so user-friendly that all the users just figure it out. Okay, and then I go to the next resource. You can actually go on the website and take a look when you are in your own country, when you're back, you go to resources and see maybe there's something interesting for you and you can learn something new. And if you see a resource that is missing, you're very welcome to write that to us, and then we write a text on it. So for VPA, we have it right here. Again, it is about you need to have a very good signal, and the latest versions of the software all that makes more and more quick to do it and even more user-friendly. So the way it works with the VPA is the users are connected, and we have the links you saw there with the VPA now connected from the phone. Then it makes a small attack to the user that is connected, and then again in the windows it will typically, in most cases, they don't even notice it. Pops off and pops back on, and then it sniffs the handshake. And then we have the handshake, and on the portable penetrator, we can do a brute forcing of this handshake. And we have very large dictionaries also included already, huge ones. And of course, we're coming with a new feature so people can upload their own dictionaries. And the latest version, normally the cracking speed was like 300–400 cracks per second, and in the latest version it's 1200. So it's just giving it a few days that can give big results. And then, for example, if you're doing a penetration test, we already have very good dictionaries that you don't just buy or download on the net. For many different languages, we have huge ones with default known passwords like administrator, Homer Simpson, stuff like that. But then with the new one, when you have the full penetration testing suite, let's say you go to a customer, you learn a lot about what they're called, then you can start making your own databases that are very much specific to the customer. For example, you put in the customer name, you press a button, and then it will start generating passwords based on their name. And things like that. You put in your own preferred databases, and it's very quick to do the cracking. You leave it a few days. So what you can do to the customer is you can show them, we ran all the default databases, all the languages, we ran everything and it passed that test, and then we did the second test where we made our own dictionary based on their name, and maybe when you do the penetration test you find out the administrator is called Bob, and then you do something, you do a search on he's called Bob Anderson, and then you get his Facebook profile, you get everything on the net, and then you go in and read a little about him, and you see he's a fan of guessing his password to the Facebook account, and suddenly you have his whole profile, and then you go back on the penetration testing because you know his profile, and then you can much easier do the attack. So it's a lot about finding out the target you are attacking. And then in a matter of very quickly, actually, it's everybody are talking about the Big Brother society and all that, and then they made Facebook and all the other services so you can fill in the blanks. So for example, when you go to a Facebook profile or something, you learn everything about people. And this is very good for compromising. Oh yeah, and there's also another risk. Let's say everybody has a public profile on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff. Then they're talking about it's very easy to hack. So let's say you hack some guy and you send out credible information in his name, but it's false information, and that damages reputation of the company. That's very bad for the guy. And how can you prove that he didn't do it? Of course, if you send out a link of the dancing rabbit, like when they compromise a website, then it's very easy to guess it. But if they do it very professional, how can you prove he didn't do it? And also the whole point is that all this IT crime is big business. And we are seeing very professional bands or gangs, you could say, that are doing all this. Because the old time is you go into a bank and you take a gun and a hat on, and then you rob it, and then you drive away. But that's very difficult today because the bank don't have any money, and you're not allowed to wear a hat in Denmark, for example. And there are many restrictions. And then you also have to drive away, and that's also difficult because they track the car and GPS from the insurance company, all that stuff. So it's a better business to make a very good IT crime gang and get the money that way. And it's much harder to detect it, and it's much more easy to get away with it. So I think in the future it's going to be 10 times more than what we're seeing now, because it's the business.
Danish banking security is very attractive.
Now what?
Somebody came over from Sweden with monopoly money and exchanged it for Danish money.
Okay.
You didn't read that in the newspapers?
No.
Yeah, it happened a few months ago.
Okay.
I think I've heard about that. Yeah. That's a lot of risk.
Oh yeah.
He said they're worried about their IT, but no, we don't care about nobody.
Exactly. Exactly. Also, for example, when we talk about a bank, I was also on a trip, and we met some that were doing the home installation of the employees of the bank. And then we could show them that the home station of the employees was very insecure. So it could be the bank has invested into security, but they forgot about the employees that are connecting in. So there's the whole point is all the IT is getting more and more complex, and it's very difficult to keep up with the security part. It's more like cost-benefit. How much does it cost to ensure all the home stations are secure? And then sometimes they save this cost, and then that can be the weak link.
Well, Copenhagen is also different because they have something called Clearwire here, which is a wireless broadband service.
Yeah.
And this allows people to get, once you buy one of these things, you can plug it in anywhere in the Copenhagen metropolitan area and use it. So if you steal somebody's unit, you can go somewhere else and start using it. The interesting thing is that there's over 160 attacks on average every day that come through, people trying to break into systems here in Copenhagen. Because we've set up honeypots and all of our customers here, on average, we get at least 160 attempts every day to break in, when they're actually using some pretty sophisticated techniques. And there's a huge infection rate, because we've gone into banks and other companies and we found up to 20% of the computers infected. And there's an interesting thing that's going on in Denmark here, where if it gets in the computer, it actually is able to disable Tversky, Norman, and Norton antivirus. They still run like they're there, they still do that, they're just turned off and disabled. And this thing will install about 100 different malware products and bots.
Exactly.
We just gone through a few months ago and cleaned out several organizations